Hello Power Rangers Lightning Collection fans, and welcome back to Toku Topics. Today, a lot earlier than I was expecting, we have the Wave 14 release of Dino Thunder Mesogog, which is not out in the US yet. So I actually had this imported over from Singapore, which was the place that we got the first pictures of this guy, even before his initial announcement back in January. Now currently, he's still listed for a June 1st pre-order release date on pretty much any major retailer that is going to be selling Wave 14, and the rest of Wave 14, which of course is Lost Galaxy Pink, Dino Fury Blue, and Dino Thunder Black, those are not out yet anywhere, at least at the time of this video. But somehow Mesogog was out first. I don't really even know how that happened, but this figure is absolutely incredible. I still can't believe that he's actually just like a normal Wave figure. I mean, he has the kind of like sculpting and everything I would expect from like, I guess a deluxe figure, or at least some kind of higher price point figure, because of just the intricate monster designs and everything we got going on here. And I absolutely love it. Now, of course, Dino Thunder is my favorite season of Power Rangers, so I'm definitely very excited to get the main villain from the show. And let's just dive on into it here. So, of course, this is going to be releasing a lot earlier than my other Wave 14 videos, because that's not going to happen for months at this point. But, you know, this one will be up on the channel for a while. So, here he is. And as you can see, the render here looks really cool. I love the artwork for him there. Let's kind of take a closer look at that. Very nice. And of course, that continues onto the side of the box, where we kind of get the whole picture of it there. And on the other side, it just says Dino Thunder Mesogog, and just like Wave 13's boxes, you have the little picture of him down there. So it's going to match, you know, it's one of our new plastic-free packaging Wave boxes, as we saw with Wave 13. And now we're seeing with Wave 14, which is crazy because I just finished my Wave 13 videos like not too terribly long ago, so to already have this here is pretty interesting. And on the top, just kind of the color of him. There's kind of all the copyright stuff and everything on the back or on the bottom. And then of course on the back we have the same kind of render there again. We have the barcode and all this kind of stuff. And you can see his accessories layouts, and he is a tiny bit bigger than like a Ranger figure, and I will bring in some of the Dino Thunder team to compare him with. But he doesn't come with a lot of accessories, nor that I really think he needs to. He just has some swappable hands and two little effect pieces that are pretty cool and kind of unique for him, which I definitely do think is pretty neat here. So, yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and open this up and take a look at Dino Thunder Mesogog. So here's Mesogog out of the box with everything that he comes with, and like I said, doesn't have a ton of accessories, but I really don't think that he needs it. The only thing I think would have been kind of cool if this included, but never really would have expected it, would be like an Anton Mercer swappable head or something, but that wouldn't even really make a lot of sense completely. But still, this is really cool. Like, this figure is one of those ones, kind of like Blue Centurion, which I'm taking a look at in comparison to this video relatively recently. This is just, like, the sculpting is phenomenal on this guy. Like, they captured his look, I think, really well. And the paint application, like, I'm still just shocked that this is just a Wave figure. It's probably one of the best Wave figures we have ever gotten, I would have to say. I know it's a pretty, you know, big claim to say, but, like, just look at the dude. Now, I know some people were kind of upset about some of the paint colors of kind of his cloak and everything, and maybe it's not the most 100% color accuracy to Dino Thunder. I almost think, if I'm not, I have no way of knowing, but he kind of looks like this figure is sort of based off of his Legacy Wars in-game model. If I had to guess, that's probably some kind of reference photo they use for him in some capacity. I don't mind the color. I think it is show accurate enough that I really am not too hung up about it whatsoever. I think it's fine. One weird thing about this figure, though, is the fact that he is not fully pinless, which is strange. So he has pinless arm joints, or pinless elbow joints, for both of his hands, but then he has pinned knees, or pinned legs, which actually means he's not a wobbly dude, which is very nice. And he does actually have a little bit of weight to him and everything, too, so I don't care that it's not pinless. I think it's perfectly fine how it is. But it is, I will admit, kind of strange that you have that sort of semi-pinless aspect to this. But let's just kind of continue to take a closer look at this. And look at all the texture on his cloak and on his arms. And of course you have his really cool like clawed hands with the 3 fingers, which just look really neat. And like, look at the paint on the shoulder pads, which are able to kind of get out of the way there. He does have a joint there, which is not an incredibly common joint. I think it's been there a couple times, but, or I could just be mistaken and that's there a lot, but usually it's not, I don't think, if I can remember correctly. I want to say the female figures, I think, have that joint, but I don't think a lot of the male ones do. And he does still have Oh, it's because he has single jointed elbows. That's why. So yeah, this is not a double jointed elbow figure, but I don't really think that it needs to be. You do have these nice little spikes at the end of each of his elbows. He still does actually have articulation there. You can kind of move him up and down a little bit. That cloak does kind of get out of the way for that, which is great. And you do have little cuts in there as well, so you can get his legs to move. And like he does have the double jointed elbow, or double jointed knees, sorry. He does have that, and they can rotate there and everything like that. So I think you can still get him into some pretty good poses. And even on the back, they painted a little bit of this kind of hoodish sort of piece and all of this kind of stuff there. So like, I'm just gonna keep saying it. I'm just super impressed, especially with that head. Like, look at the eyes. Look at that nice textured detail, the kind of gradient in the paint there. I love it. And he does have that kind of new joints where it's like a joint there and then also a joint here. So I guess we can kind of show that off. So he does have little dumbbell joints, but it's kind of like a joint, two joints sort of. It's kind of a weird thing. But what's really cool about Mesogog, like super, super cool, is that first of all, the teeth look really nice, but he has an articulated jaw, which is so cool. And I think adds a lot to this figure to be able to have that and kind of have the, the clawed hand out and everything. He's going to look amazing fighting your Dino Thunder Rangers. So I really, really hope that we can get kind of the rest of the Dino Thunder villains, so like Zeltrax, Elsa. I would love to get Tyrannodrones. Triptoids would be cool too. Like, oh, this is just so, so good. And as like I said earlier in this video, as Dino Thunder being my favorite season, I am so, so happy to have a figure of this guy. I think his only other action figure that I can think of was that like really bad Bandai one that came with, I think, the like Triassic command truck or something back in 2004, which was just kind of a statue essentially. So this is certainly an upgrade for Mesogog, and I think it definitely a must-have Lightning Collection figure in my opinion, especially in a wave with Dino Thunder Black as well, which will complete the core team. It's a perfect time to get Mesogog in the Lightning Collection. And then his accessories are just some fists, which are kind of hard to tell which one is supposed to be the left and the right. Because it's kind of like he's, yeah, there we go. So it's like, this is the top, I think. He's got like kind of the talons kind of like, gripped in there or something, but they're not painted, which makes it a little difficult to tell which hand is which. And I'm pretty confident I have two different hands, which is something we have to check these days. And then you get two brand new effect pieces that we've never really had before, or at all. So we have this one, which is just this kind of tiny little lightning effect piece, and I think what they're supposed to do, and I'll kind of show this off as well, you also have this really cool kind of blast one that has this giant, like, rectangle slot, and I think one of these is for, is it this one that's kind of for, so you're supposed to be able to use one of them, I think it's that one. It's kind of his sort of psychic attack when he's like torturing Zeltrax and Elsa for their failures, so you kind of have that kind of thing going on. And then you can, if you wanted to, also just kind of have it, in his hand or something like that. And then you do have that, oop, and it fell on the ground, but you do have this one, which I think is actually for the fist, I want to say. Yeah, so you plug it into the fist, you kind of have this like kind of punching effect, which I think definitely does work. And I'll go ahead and grab that one off of the floor. But I mean, essentially, that's everything you got with Mesogog here, but he has everything I would want a Mesogog figure to have. I think they gave him like the perfect accessories layout, two brand new effect pieces, excellent molding, a pretty good range of articulation, especially with that jaw. So let's go ahead and bring in some Dino Thunder Rangers here and compare to how he is with the rest of the team. So here's Mesogog with two of the Dino Thunder Rangers, Wave 7's Connor and Wave 12's Kira. And this scaling I think looks perfectly good. I mean, being a kind of monstrous figure obviously and everything, it's really nice to see that he isn't towering over the Rangers like the Monsters of the Week from Mighty Morphin is. And I think this is perfectly in scale to how he should be. He's a little bit taller, but like in a believable way. Now, granted, Mesogog, in this form at least, pretty much I think never, I want to say, fought the Rangers. He fought the Rangers in his upgraded form from the finale, so you wouldn't necessarily need him to do this anyway, but still, regardless, it looks really cool to actually have these three figures, and of course we have blue and we have white already as well, and we even have Fighting Spirit green from Dino Thunder, but to have, my favorite Power Ranger season represented in these really good figures here is just so much fun to see, and I'm so happy with how this Mesogog figure turned out, and it's definitely a big way to kick off Wave 14, which I think is overall a pretty solid wave of figures, even though we won't be seeing the other three for quite a while, but unless some of those, maybe Dino Thunder Black is able to just like completely blow me away. This is more than likely going to be the wave winner. I would not be surprised if at one point in time he was not supposed to be in Wave 14. I would not be surprised if he was originally designed to be like some sort of store exclusive or something, because he just doesn't feel like a figure that would be in a wave. He feels like a figure that would be an exclusive. So the fact that he's a wide retail release figure is amazing to me, and is just such a good release in the Lightning Collection. And with that, that is going to do it for my video review of the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Wave 14 Mesogog figure. So, like I said a lot of times in this video, I can't recommend this figure enough. This figure is absolutely incredible. I absolutely love it here, and this is definitely one of my favorite Lightning Collection figures I have ever gotten, and it's definitely one of the best ones, especially for 2023 so far, which I've really been doing some pretty good ones, even though there are quality control problems and everything. Thankfully, I don't believe I've seen any quality control problems on him just yet, but who knows if that will still be the case when it actually does release in the US. Will it actually be closer to June? Who knows? I have no idea when I'm going to take a look at the rest of the wave. I might not even be in the college dorm location anymore if that release date actually holds true, because I'm leaving this place in May, so I don't know. But stay tuned for the rest of Wave 14, of course. And of course, there will also be an Amazon affiliate link in the description below for you to pre-order the Mesogog figure. And that's going to pretty much do it. If you use that link, it will help out the channel whenever he is in stock. I love it. It's such a good figure. I can highly recommend it for any fan of Dino Thunder, Power Rangers monsters, or just Lightning Collection fans in general. You're going to be happy with how this figure is, and I very, very much am. So until next time, you guys can follow me on Twitter at LivingRangerKey or LightningFigPR, and I will see you all later. To wrap up this video, I'd like to thank my $5 and above patrons: Jurassic Samurai, Maggot Alchemist, Robert Browning, Static Thunder, Brendan Overland, Maji Yellow, Redstone MCPC, Comics 1017, James Darty, Monster Rocket, John Luke, Eric Berry, Tyler Brzezinski, Matthew Thorne, Josh Landry, Paramidas, and CPT Tesla. You can support Toku Topics for as little as $1 a month on my Patreon, link in the description below.